Welcome to this explainer. Today we are tackling a very modern and honestly super frustrating dilemma, emoji paralysis. You know that exact feeling, right? When you're just staring at your screen, trying to figure out which little icon is going to perfectly encapsulate your message? Well, today we're going to look at how a highly granular AI prompting technique can completely upgrade your workflow and literally cure that paralysis for good.
Okay, let's dive into this. Do you ever need the perfect emoji for a tweet or post, but you just end up scrolling endlessly through your phone? We have all been there, just staring blankly at the screen, struggling to find the exact right icon to match a carefully crafted message. And look, it sounds kind of trivial, but in the world of social media, having the right visual cue is absolutely everything. It sets the tone, it catches the eye, and ultimately it drives engagement.
The core of the problem here is just sheer volume. As our source points out, there are literally thousands of emojis available on our keyboards right now. Thousands! It is completely impossible to remember which one works best in every single specific context. And this is exactly where an AI assistant becomes incredibly valuable. It basically acts as a high-speed search engine to match your text with the absolute perfect vibe.
To see exactly how this works in practice, we're going to use a really great case study from an article by Valeria Kuka over at Learn Prompting. Here's a promotional tweet about the AI image generator Midjourney. Now, it's a solid piece of copy, it's informative, but let's be honest, it's visually pretty flat. So we're going to give this text a complete emoji makeover using ChatGPT just to see how different prompting strategies can yield very, very different results.
The broad stroke. When most people first try to use an AI for a task like this, they usually default to the easiest, most basic method. They just copy the entire tweet and throw the whole block of text at the AI all at once. This is what that basic prompt actually looks like. You just paste in the text and simply ask, what are some good emojis to add to this tweet? Let's see what the AI gives us back when we ask it to analyze the whole thing collectively as just one big thought.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the AI logically maps these specific emojis to the overall themes of the tweet. It reads the word creativity and boom, gives us a palette. It sees the mention of AI and gives us a robot face. The magnifying glass is for discovery, the memo represents a guide. It's actually incredibly smart at extracting those broad core concepts from the entire paragraph. But here is the catch. As our source notes, these are genuinely helpful suggestions, but they are totally lacking precise placement. Because the AI analyzed the entire tweet all at once, it's kind of like throwing a giant bucket of emoji confetti at your screen. It leaves us completely guessing where exactly to place them in the copy to make the most impact. Do they all go at the very end? Do we pepper them throughout the text? It's just not quite a finished, usable workflow yet.
Attempt 2. Prompting sentence by sentence. This brings us to the core takeaway from the source material. To get truly actionable results, we have to move to a granular approach. Instead of feeding the AI the whole block of text, we are going to feed it just one single sentence at a time. Doing this forces the AI's reasoning engine to narrow its focus drastically. Let's watch how its context shifts when we analyze sentence 1, then sentence 2, and then sentence 3, completely independently.
Let's start right at the beginning. We've isolated just the opening question. Ready to unleash your creativity with AI? And we explicitly ask the AI, what are some good emojis to add to this part of a tweet?
Look at the huge difference in the output. By focusing just on this opening hook, the AI generates highly action-oriented emojis. We get the flexed biceps showing strength and determination, and a rocket implying advancement. Neither of these dynamic high-energy emojis even appeared in our first broad attempt. No way! By narrowing the focus, we uncovered completely new options that perfectly match the excitement of that very first sentence. Okay, let's keep this momentum going. We move to the next sentence from the source, which is specifically focusing on the call to action. Check out our newest article to learn how to create your unique masterpieces with AI. Once again, we isolate the text and ask for emojis for just this specific part.
Notice how the AI completely shifts its logic here to adapt to the new context. Because we're talking about creating visual masterpieces and generated images in this particular line, it cleverly suggests a camera emoji. This is a highly specific, context-aware suggestion that aligns perfectly with the goal of this exact line in our copy.
Finally, we display our prompt for the remaining sentence about discovering the power of the tool itself. Let's see what the AI comes up with for this descriptive segment when it's viewed in complete isolation.
The AI correctly identifies the educational nature of this specific segment. It recognizes that the user is being told to discover and learn, so it brings in the memo and the book emojis to match that informative tone. We now have a list of tailored, highly relevant suggestions mapped exactly to the beginning, middle, and end of our post.
The final polish, the human touch. Now that we have all this fantastic, granular data, we move to the final, and frankly, most crucial step of the social media workflow. The AI has done the heavy analytical lifting, sure, but human judgment is what actually brings it across the finish line, and this brilliantly illustrates why the granular method is so superior. Broad prompting gives you generic themes with very vague placement. It's okay, but it leaves you guessing. Sentence-by-sentence prompting, on the other hand, gives you specific context and exact placement. It provides a targeted menu of options specifically designed for each individual thought in your message.
So the crucial point is how you synthesize this data. As the author concludes, you shouldn't just copy and paste everything the AI says. You need to review the AI suggestions for each part and manually select only the ones you like best. Furthermore, don't be afraid to add emojis that were completely ignored by the AI. ChatGPT is a phenomenal brainstorming partner for sure, but you must make the final selection. Your unique voice is what actually makes the post engaging.
Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought to consider for your own workflow. As you start breaking down your prompts to get better, more granular results, ask yourself, will you let AI be your final editor or just your creative assistant? Try this iterative, sentence-by-sentence method on your next post, apply your own human touch to the results, and see just how much your content improves. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.